How we doing, boys? Over the Garden Wall is a miniseries produced by Cartoon Network that first aired from November 3rd to November 7th of 2014. The series chronicles the adventures of brothers Wirt and Greg and their journey through a land called the Unknown. There's all kinds of symbolism and allegories placed throughout the show's 10 episodes, and all of them are worth talking about. But today I'd like to talk about the 4th episode in particular, titled Songs of the Dark Lantern. And just so you guys know, I will be spoiling the end of Over the Garden Wall in this, and if you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend going into it knowing as little as possible. This episode begins with Wirt, Greg, and Beatrice being thrown off the back of a wagon during a rainstorm. They enter a tavern for shelter, and once inside, meet the tavern keeper and the townsfolk. The strange thing about the townsfolk here is that they only appear to have an identity based around their work, even going so far as to introduce themselves purely based on the labels they have in their community, such as the butcher, the tailor, the midwife, the master and apprentice, and of course, the highwayman.
I'm the highwayman.
Okay, good to know. Well, so you see...
I'm the highwayman. I make ends meet, just like any man. I work with my hands. If you cross my path, I'll knock you out, drag you off the road, steal your shoes from off your feet, and then highwayman, when I make ends meet.
And we'll be talking a little bit more about him later. If it wasn't already obvious, the town is obsessed with giving some sort of tangible meaning to their purpose or role in the community, and doing everything they can to keep themselves busy at it, which they can only do for so long before they run out of work. It doesn't appear that wanderers come through here often, and as such, the townsfolk are eager to work for somebody besides themselves. When prompted by the townspeople, Wirt is reluctant to give himself any sort of label or title. But he does ask the toymaker for directions to Adelaide of the Pasture. The toymaker, in a manner that seems almost willfully misunderstanding of what Wirt just asked of him, labels him the young lover since he's searching for a woman. This kicks off one of my favorite songs in the series called A Courting Song.
Write a loving letter, boy, that swoops and sweeps and curls. Calligraphers are just the thing to help you win your girl. Then you'll need to dress up smart, the tailor's here by chance. To stitch your trousers, hold your belt, and find culture of friends. Your shoes, my goodness, how they're worn, but you're too young to know. Nothing courts a woman's scorn more than scuffs on the toe. The cobbler can attend to that, meanwhile you must have cake. The baker and patissier need work, for goodness sake. Hi-dee-diddly-um-da-dum today. What a merry time we'll have upon your wedding day. Hi-dee-diddly-um-da-dum today. There's work for all when little boys get married.
Which on the surface just seems to be a song about a guy trying to get his friends some work. But there's something a bit off about this song. Something that has a hidden desperation. Wirt then explains that he and Greg are simply on a journey to try and find their way home. This grants him the new title of Pilgrim from the townsfolk, a man on a sacred journey, a forger of his own destiny, a master of his own path. While regaling the townsfolk of their stories within the unknown, Wirt and Greg mention that they had a run-in with the Beast. In another song, the tavern keeper warns that the Beast pursues lost souls and wanderers, and turns them into edelwood trees so that their oil can be used in his lantern, which gives him his life force. And when we ruminate on this new detail and think about the lyrics of A Courting Song, the desperation of the townsfolk becomes a lot clearer. We know from the end of the show that the unknown exists as a pseudo-afterlife, a realm that seems to exist between life and death, inhabited by lost souls who were unable to let go of something in the living world. And to me, the townsfolk in this tavern represent the people who put so much stock into where they fit into society or their careers or jobs that without them, they feel directionless. The townsfolk are so wrapped up in everybody having their own purpose or designation, they're even willing to accept the highwayman into their midst. A man who, by his own admission, will do anything to make ends meet. And they accept him because he fulfills his role in the community. And even if that role is the local miscreant, it's still a role. This could also explain why the tavern keeper is the liveliest person in the entire town. Because every day, everybody goes to the tavern to eat and drink their sorrows away, and so she, on a daily basis, is fulfilling her purpose. So here, the toymaker isn't just a man trying to get work for his friends. He and the townsfolk are people who with each passing day are having their wills and spirits broken more and more. And without fulfilling that purpose, they could very well become targets for the Beast. There's an extra line in A Courting Song that really cements this for me, and in rewatching this episode for this video, I realized that it's actually not present. It looks like you can only hear this line if you listen to the song on the official Over the Garden Wall soundtrack. And this is the line that I'm talking about. I'll play it right now.
And so you see your handiwork is yours if you're inclined, but our livelihood's at stake, so don't you go and change your mind.
Now, their livelihoods being at stake could purely be because, as the townsfolk, they need work. And on the surface, this certainly seems to be the meaning. But I think that there's a slightly more disturbing message that you can glean from this. Because without work, these townsfolk have no identity. And with no identity, they have no spirit. And without spirit, they make easy prey for the beast. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel, give me a like, or leave me a comment and tell me how you felt about it. I know that this video is a little bit shorter, but I have a couple of other ones I'm working on right now. The Eddsworld video that I said I was working on has sort of become a completely different beast, and it's more of a deep dive into online animation and its history, so I'm really excited about that one. But probably before that one, we'll also be talking about some of the worst Christmas movies ever made, and look out for that one because I'm really excited for it. As always, my name is Isaiah, and thank you for watching my video.
There's an old black train a-comin', scraping along the iron. You don't need no ticket, boys, it'll take you when it's time.